This is the city of Tromsø in the north of Norway, 300 kilometers inside the Arctic Circle. It's actually called the capital of the Arctic. It's famous for its spectacular northern lights and its long, dark polar winters. With its wooden houses, some dating back to the late 1700s, and surrounded by stunning nature and wildlife, Tromsø is a magical town. The polar nights last for almost 2 months in the winter, and during this period the sun never fully rises, so the residents are lucky to get about 2 hours of light every day. Then after around 1 p.m, the rest of the day is in darkness. But the payoff for enduring the darkness is the occasional burst of this. The Northern Lights, Mother Nature's spectacular light show in the sky, charged particles from the sun bouncing off the Earth's magnetic field. The colours and patterns dance around the sky, an awe-inspiring sight. Amidst the polar darkness, here, light is something precious. And among the things that make this town unique is its cathedral. And as you can see, it's not a huge stone structure towering over the town with a tall spire, but it is the most northern cathedral in the world. When Mass is finished, the locals meet for coffee and buns to warm up in this cold land. Father Arne Marco is a Norwegian priest, and we sit down inside the world's closest cathedral to the North Pole.
This church was constructed in the end 1850s. I think it was finished 1861. At that time, the Vatican had established a North Pole mission.
The North Pole mission?
Yes. It covered a very huge area of the northern Europe and even Canada.
The parish of Tromsø was included in the Vatican's North Pole mission, which had been established by Pope Pius IX in 1855 to evangelize regions within the Arctic Circle. But due to the harsh conditions, the mission was ended in 1869. The parish of Tromsø then became its own diocese, with the record of having the cathedral closest to the top of the world.
Yes, the church is dedicated to Our Lady, in Norwegian Vår Frue. And the parish covers not only the city, but nearly the whole province of Tromsø.
For the people who live here, Christmas is a magical time. A big emphasis is put on the town's Christmas decorations, and the lighting of their Christmas tree brings out all the families. However, life during the winter months can be difficult, with heavy snowfall, freezing polar winds, and of course, the darkness. But the locals try and focus on the beauty. Isn't this beautiful, Celia? We're sitting here in this coffee shop right in the middle of Tromsø.
Really beautiful.
How would you describe the town?
It gets really dark, but if you take your D vitamin and get enough sleep and socialize, then it can be okay. Yeah, okay. And the town makes it a really good job to just make it cozy with all the lights, and it's cold, but just put on a jacket and you're fine.
You're fine. In Norway, only about 3% of the country is Catholic, with the majority being immigrants from other countries. And here in Tromsø, there are people in this parish from over 100 countries. And Celis is one of those in the minority.
A lot of the young Catholics are mostly international, like students. We are not a lot of people, but those in the Catholic Church, we take care of each other, and it just feels right to me, yeah.
Can it be difficult sometimes to be a young Norwegian Catholic?
Yes, it is. I do feel a little alone, but then that's why it's nice to have the young Catholics to.
So you have a support group
Yes.
there, yeah? Father Arne brings me down to the water, where he likes to watch the fishing boats coming and going from the harbour.
We are here at the harbor of the city of Tromsø. This is the harbor for the smaller boats.
And I know that you like to come down here and look at the boats and the ships coming in, going out.
That's because I have a first formation as a civil engineer in marine engineering. I'm specialized in yarding, and I like to see ships constructed.
Before becoming a priest, Father Arne had graduated from college as a marine engineer and was on his way to work for a large vessel manufacturer when his mind and heart started to change. When did you decide to make the switch from your life as an engineer to that of a man of God?
The question entered into my soul, so to speak. The deeper questions about existence, about life, moved me into this direction, slowly but surely.
His parents were not too pleased that he was giving up a promising career for a life in the priesthood, but he persisted. And his friends too couldn't understand what he was doing. They believed faith and science couldn't go together.
They think you have to choose between knowledge and faith. And if you choose faith, it's because you don't understand reality. You believe in something that does not exist, God. And for myself, it came to a point where I was asking myself, what is really more important to me in my life? And I felt much more myself, so to speak. And of course I did understand this is only possible if it's God's call to me. And it has given me so much different and new experiences, and had deepened my faith in a way that I could not believe when I entered in that time. No?
And now he gets to enjoy both worlds, living out his priestly vocation while staying close to his former life on the sea.
And of course sometimes I want to enter them to see and study them, but I will always feel connected to the ocean and to the vessels of the oceans.
It's a nice thing, isn't it?
True. My hope is that I can keep on doing my ministry as I do now, and that maybe I can bring some light in the darkness of the world.
Bringing light to these polar winters.
Yeah, hopefully. Yes.
In Tromsø, Norway, Colm Flynn, EWTN News in Depth.